Well, we are less than 60 minutes away from a new chapter in the crisis at America's borders. A policy known as Title 42 is about to expire. The COVID-era policy allowed the U.S. to kick migrants out quickly due to public health concerns. Well, now as the public health emergency ends, so does Title 42. So that's giving new hope to thousands of migrants looking to get into the country, but putting pressure on security and resources here in the United States. From the southern border to the northern, Jacqueline Francis is talking to experts about ripple effects that could be felt here in the state of Michigan. Jacqueline.
Kimberly, asylum seekers that end up in Metro Detroit will likely have their day in court here at the federal building in downtown Detroit. And that's where a judge will decide whether to approve or deny their request for asylum. And tonight we're talking with an immigration attorney who helps guide them through that process. As towns along the southern border are preparing for a surge of migrants in a matter of hours, Detroit-based immigration attorney Herman Dade says Michigan will also feel its effects. Even with Title 42 in place, migrants have made their way to Michigan, especially those with friends and family living in the state.
I'm expecting that to increase 5 or 10 times now that the southern border is open suddenly. They will be coming up into Michigan and claiming here for sure.
Some migrants crossing through Michigan are destined for Canada, but that just got more complicated after President Biden and Prime Minister Trudeau struck a deal to close off the northern border to asylum seekers at unofficial crossings.
So they would go through the southern border and migrate up and then come here to Michigan and then migrate into Canada. And that's been going on for decades. And now for the first time in history, Canada is turning them back to the United States.
Come midnight, Title 42 will be replaced with Title 8, the immigration law in place before the pandemic. Migrants will once again be allowed to apply for legal pathways to enter the U.S.
Sometimes it'll be mischaracterized as illegal immigration. It's not. Claiming asylum is totally legal.
The attorney says it'll likely be several years before these migrants go before a judge. We asked how likely it is for their cases to be approved. He tells me in Michigan, about 40% of the time, judges will approve a person's request for asylum. Reporting live in downtown Detroit, Jacqueline Francis, Local 4.
Okay, Jacqueline, thank you. Today, the House passed a new border security bill, but it's unlikely to make it through the democratically controlled Senate. The bill would restart construction on the southern border wall, upgrade technology at the border, and increase funding for border agents. The Homeland Security Department is stressing migrants apprehended under Title 8 may face expedited removal, and they will be banned from re-entry for at least 5 years. Critics say that's just not enough to deter migrants.